Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss about concept of replication in a storage account. Along with that, we will also discuss about different replication methods and how exactly it is going to impact your cost and availability of data. If you want to go through the complete course, you can purchase these courses from my website, that is techlearning.spy.com. All the information is given in the description. If you want to check out the course content, just click on course and click on preview. So left hand side you can see all of the course contents. Other than individual courses, course packages are also available where you can find out the decent discount on these courses. Let's get back to our topic.
Go to your portal and type storage accounts. Okay, click on it. So create a storage account. So this time this is LH storage 24 and the location I have selected Central US. Performance is a standard. Account kind is storage version 2. Now focus on this replication part. This replication is very important and very often question asked in certification as well as interviews around this replication method. Okay, and this replication is also going to decide the cost of your storage account. Fine. So what is the meaning of replication here first of all? And when you click on this scroll down button, you can see there are 6 methods mentioned here. We are going to discuss each and every method one by one. Okay, but let me draw one diagram so that you can visualize this concept. So you have created one storage account. Let's say this is your storage account. And what is the name of this storage account? This is LH storage 24. And where you have created this one? You have created this one inside the Central US, right? Now it is asking for the replication method here. Okay, so let's say you create a container here. Let's say the name of container is demo, and then you upload your data in it. So this is your data. Now, finally, what you did when it came to the replication, you went ahead and you selected the first option. Replication is LRS here, local redundant storage. So when you select LRS, what happened in the backend that we need to understand. So replication method, let's say you have selected LRS here. So what will happen now, as soon as you create this storage account, what is going to happen inside Azure data center? Let's say this is a region. Okay, this is a region here. And region name is Central US. Inside Central US, it is going to take one data center. There will be one data center. And inside that data center, what it is going to do? It is going to create 3 copy of all of the data which is available inside my storage account, LH storage 24. Not only just this container, because this is only one container. Like that, you can create multiple containers. So whatever is there inside this storage account, the copy of that data is going to be created. And how many copies are going to be created? 3 copies, copy 1, copy 2, and the copy 3. So all 3 copies will be stored in single data center, but in different servers here. Okay, so this is what happened in the backend when you select LRS. So whatever data you stored, 3 copies has been created, but all of these 3 copies are going to be stored inside a single data center inside Central US region here. So this is the meaning of your LRS. Let's say instead of LRS, now you have selected ZRS, Zone Redundant Storage. So when you select ZRS, what is going to happen in the backend? Let's say instead of LRS, or let me remove everything. Fine. Instead of LRS, You have selected the ZRS now. So what will happen now? So inside the region, let's say in central US region, there are three zones: zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So this is your availability zone basically. If you remember the first class, we had discussed about the availability zone. And what is exactly the availability zone? Inside availability zone, we have the data centers. Let's say this is one data center, this is one data center, and this is also one data center here. And this is my AG1, availability zone 1, AG2, and then finally AG3 here. These are my availability zone. Now, when you created this storage account, you have selected ZRS. So what will happen in this case? Region, you have selected Central US in this storage account. So there are three copies of data is going to be created. Three copies of data which is there inside your LHS storage 24 storage account. And all of that data is going to be stored in three different availability zone here. So one copy of data will be stored here, second copy of data will be stored here, and third copy of data will be stored here. Why multiple copies? Let's say if this availability zone 1 is down because of any reason, your data is accessible from availability zone 2 and availability zone 3 here. Okay, so it means when you select a ZRS, three copies of data is getting stored in three different availability zone, and three different data centers also, right? So you have means higher availability when you select the ZRS. Okay, one thing you have to keep in your mind: when you change these options, your pricing will also be changed. How to see those pricing? I will show you later, because this storage is a very big module. We are going to spend at least 3 days in this topic. Okay, so that you will get to know how to calculate that. Fine, but if you are looking for higher option, option, let's say you are choosing ZRS. Now your data is getting replicated in three different data center here. In the previous LRS, in a single data center, three copies were actually getting created, right? There will be a costing difference here. So that you also have to keep in your mind. Suppose instead of ZRS, if you select geo redundant storage, GRS. So what will happen in that case? We need to understand that. So let's remove all this thing. Okay. The option I have selected is GRS now. So what happened in case of GRS? Let's say this is your primary region, and this region is your central US. So what it will do, it will choose one data center. This is a single data center. Inside this data center, three copies of your data, copy 1, copy 2, and the copy 3 will be created in different servers. Okay, and this is your like primary region here. This is a primary region. And apart from that, what is going to happen now in the GRS, it will select a second region also. Let's say this is your second region, and assume that this region is East US. I do not have any control to choose this region. This is already selected by the Azure. If you remember the concept of region pairing, we had understood this region pairing in our first class. So this is like a paired region. East US is the paired region with the Central US. Correct. So this will be my secondary region in this case. Okay. So what is going to happen in the secondary region? It will choose, Azure will choose one data center, and inside that data center, three copies are going to be created. So total how many copies are going to be created? Total six copies. Three copies in one region, three copies in other region. So this is your primary region, this is your secondary region. Now this is also only one data center, single data center. But what will happen here? At a time, you can access your data from only one region, only from the primary region. You cannot access this secondary region at all. Secondary region comes into the picture when the whole primary region is down because of some reason. If primary region is down, then in that case only you can access your data from the secondary region. So what is happening? Failover is happening. If primary region is down, failover will happen and you will start accessing your data from the secondary region. So in secondary region also we have our data available. So actually what happens, how this data get copied? Suppose you created this storage account, you stored some data inside it. So immediately it will create three copies here. Fine. Now this region will replicate with this region. So this is how your data is going to be replicated here. Okay, GRS, this is very important. The secondary region only comes into the picture when the complete primary region is down. So in which scenario you are going to select GRS? When your data is very, very critical for your organization. Because right now there are six copies are going to be created. And if you are storing six copies of data, let's say there was 2 GB data here. Now, total how many copies are has been created? Six. So 2 multiplied by 6, around 12 GB of data is stored inside Azure data center. So to store this data, Azure also has to put their resources, their hard disk and their data center. Okay, hard disk will be part of, let's say, of a server or a SAN. So to run that machine also they need electricity. Fine. So there are a lot of resources Azure is putting from their end. So they will definitely charge you for that one. So higher the replication model you are going to select, more prices you are supposed to pay. So you can easily understand why Azure is asking more money in these cases. Clear? This is your GRS. Okay, so the next option is here is RA-GRS. So what happened in case of RA-GRS? Everything will remain same here. And I told you that in case of GRS, at a time you can access data from only one region. The second region only comes into the picture when the primary region is down. But in case of RA-GRS, everything is same. Only this RA has been added here. RA stand for read access. So what will happen? Your storage account can access data from the secondary region also. But there is one difference. The difference is that with primary region, you will get read plus write access. But with secondary region, you will just get the read access here. Now, what is the benefit of all this thing? So benefit is that suppose in your storage account there are a lot of data and a lot of people are accessing your data from this storage account. Okay. Suppose you do not have this option as of now. This option is not there. So 10 requests came. So all of 10 requests want to read the data from your storage account. They are not writing, they just want to read the data. So what will happen? All of those 10 requests will go to the primary region to read the data here. Okay, so all have to stand in the queue and there will be a latency, there will be a wait time here. Okay, so user can face the latency. I'm just giving you an example. 10 will be processed very fast. You can in real time, it can be millions of requests. It can be very large number of requests, that in that case you will see the real difference. Right now I'm just giving you an example. 10, 15, 100 doesn't make any sense, they will be processed very fast. Okay, but you understand with the help of this example here. So, but if you are taking RA-GRS, now what you can do, let's say if 10 requests are there, automatically what happen? 5 requests will go in this direction and access data from here, and 5 are going to access data from your secondary region. So what will happen? The latency will be less because the queue has become short here. Only 5s are there, 5 requests are there, so they can easily access the data here. If you want to write something, you can only write to the primary region. Once it is written on primary region, from primary region, it gets replicated to the secondary region. Writing you can do only on the primary, then through primary region, it gets replicated to the secondary region. Whenever any downtime is there, let's say your primary region is down because of some reason, the failover will happen on the secondary region, then you will get the read and the write access. So when this failover happen, am I supposed to do anything? Is there any role which I need to play? No. Everything happen automatically. Okay. Suppose the central US is down, so failover will happen automatically in the backend. That is Azure responsibility. There will be no end user impact from your end. Okay. You might face some latency while this failover happen. That is the maximum impact what you can get, but otherwise there is no impact at all, and you are not supposed to do anything. The only thing is that you should understand these concepts and you pay the money. That's all, your work is done, right? So this is about the RA-GRS here. So now the next option is GZRS. So what will happen in case of GZRS, that we need to understand. So this is GZRS. So GZRS, so you can see G stand for geo, Z stand for zone. So what will happen in this case? There will be a primary region. This is your central US. Inside this primary region, there will be 3 zones. Let's say this is zone 1 and zone 2 and the zone 3. Okay, inside 3 different zone, 3 copies of data is going to be created. This is copy 1, copy 2, and the copy 3. So this is AG-1. Other than that, what is going to happen? A secondary region is also going to be created here. So suppose this is your secondary region, and this region again is East US. And this is a secondary region. Primary region is connected with the secondary region. And in the secondary region, there will be one data center. And inside a single data center, 3 copies of your data, copy 1, copy 2, and copy 3 is going to be stored. And this is your storage account. So you can see that when you select a GZRS, total 3 copies of data is going to be created in the primary region, but in different zone here. Okay, so it means they will be in different data centers. And 3 copies of data is going to be created in the secondary region, but in the single data center here. But this is not accessible. Okay, at a time, your storage account can access data from only one region. Secondary region only comes into the picture when the primary region is down. Suppose this region is down, then failover will happen because your data will not be accessible from here. So in that case, storage account will access data from the secondary region here. Okay. If you see this diagram properly, you will understand that Actually, this is like ZRS. Okay. In case of ZRS, in three different availability zone, three copies get created. And this is like your LRS. What is LRS? Inside a single data center, three copies of data get created. So when I talk about GZRS, it is a combination of ZRS and the LRS. ZRS happen inside a primary region and LRS happened in the secondary region here. Clear? Now the last option is your RA-GZRS. So when I talk about the RA-GZRS, there is no difference at all. So just RA has been added here, read access. So what happened in this case? In case of GZRS, at a time you were able to access data only from one region. Okay, but here in case of RA-GZRS, you can access data from both of the region at the same time. But from the primary region, you can read as well as write your data. From the secondary region, you can just read it. Okay, so this is the meaning of all replication method. I hope everything is clear in your mind that what is the meaning of all these six replication method here. Fine. So now you can see that with the standard storage version 2, you are getting six method. But when you go with the premium, you have only one method available, LRS. And suppose blog service, if you select one method. So these are some changes. If you select different option with different option, different replication method will be available. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more storage account. Okay. And the performance, I have taken a standard account kind storage version 2 and replication method. I'm going to select GRS. So what happened in case of GRS? There are your six copies are going to be created, three in primary region and three in secondary region. So at a time, it can access data from the primary region. When your primary region is down, failover happens, then only it will be access your data from the secondary region. Okay, so this is the meaning of GRS. Go ahead and create this one. Okay, so one thing you have to keep in your mind that in single storage account, you can store up to 500 TB of data in a single storage account. And you can create multiple storage account as per your requirement. There is no limitation here. So right now you can see that this is my second storage account. So how much space I got? The first storage account, I can upload data up to 500 TB. In this storage account also, I can store data up to 500 TB. So storage is not a problem at all. Now this is my storage here, LH storage 24. Account kind I had selected as storage version 2. Replication method is geo redundant storage, that is GRS. So now if you see your location where your data has been saved. So your primary region is Central US, three copies of data has been saved here, Central US, and three copies of data will be stored in East US 2 here. This is your secondary region. So total six copies has been stored, but at a time you can access your data only from the Central US. If Central US is down, failover will happen, and then you will be able to access your data from the East US 2. Even if you go to this option, geo replication, so through this option, you can see that your Central US is the primary region and East US 2 is your secondary region here. And it says last failover time. So there is nothing mentioned here. Why? Because just now I created my account and there is no failover happened. Failover means if Central US is down, you will access your data from the East US. This process is known as the failover. So no failover is happened yet. If something happens, you will get the notification. Also, you will get the timing as well here. When and what is the date, what time it happened. Fine. So this is how it works in the backend here.